Bam. People keep talking like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. It's just a bunch of gibberish. I'm going to swear here, I apologize. Motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. It's a popular lyric from The Chronic 2001, from anybody that knows that album. I'm sure it's wildly popular in the crowd tonight. We're going to talk about hip-hop. We're going to talk about taking action to solve problems. We're going to talk about a project management model that I use. We're going to talk about my love of hip-hop that started in Edmonton in 1998 because I am a white guy from Western Canada. And my friend DJ Gouza used to blast it down the hallway in our residence, and I fell in love with it as an energizing thing. So I blasted it down at the teen clubs that I used to run on cruise ships, where the teenagers would request the same songs over and over again, and it was great because it was rap and hip-hop, but I'd ask them about it, and they would know nothing about the music. And it can be racist and angry and misogynistic and hateful. And so that bothered me that they didn't know anything. So I put on the schedule for the cruise ship that I was going to do a history of hip-hop session with them. And I did, and I'm amazing, so they came. And I would talk to them about the origins of hip-hop, about East Coast versus West Coast, and how they're one big happy family who killed each other, hopefully unlike your families. So you had Tupac on the West Coast, mostly out of California, and you had Biggie in the East Coast. And that led to guys like Dr. Dre, pictured with the headphones there, who started as a rapper with NWA, went through his career as a producer where he brought out guys like Eminem, and now sells headphones as a mogul. Does not make any sense, right? And so I talked to them about how these families came, how Dr. Dre brought out Eminem, one of the first mainstream white rappers that became big. How Notorious B.I.G. or Biggie brought out Jay-Z, who brought out Kanye, who went crazy. How a lot of these guys have been shot or have friends who have been killed, and that they came out of these horrible communities, and then that they learned that rappers could make money. So you got guys like Drake, who's a Canadian rapper that sang a song called Started at the Bottom, Now We Here. His bottom was the new Degrassi Junior High. He was on a wheelchair. All right, so then I did a head fake. For anyone that's seen Randy Posh in the last lecture, it's a little head fake. So I talked to them about some interesting stories like that. Snoop Dogg might have gotten off with killing a guy. And he, in his lecture, left a legacy for his kids while talking about animation of all things. And I said, okay, who are these musicians? Where are they coming from? What's this music actually about? What did they do before they were rappers? And a lot of them were drug dealers. A lot of them hustled in their hoods and in their projects. And these aren't the kids that I'm working with on the cruise ship. The teenagers on the cruise ship were not coming from these projects in the States. 1 in 3 black men can be expected to be in prison at some point in their life. These are communities without hope. The music is angry because the people are angry. They're expressing what they see in their day-to-day life. Drug abuse, crime, things that they're being punished for that if a Caucasian did, they wouldn't go to jail or the fine would be less. So that's where the anger in the music comes. And they start to understand that and they get interested. And then we talk about Justin Timberlake, and now we'd be talking about Macklemore. Who are these white guys that are in the game now? What are they rapping about? Macklemore, I'll let you figure out which one he is in this picture, won a Grammy this year for Best Rap Song, and immediately after running, and part of the interviews after, texted the other guy, Kendrick Lamar, largely critically acclaimed to be one of the best new rappers out there right now, to say he was sorry that he'd won. No African-American rapper has ever won the Best Song Grammy. That's Nas, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Kanye, well, I guess Eminem's white. Beyonce and Rihanna have. And so Macklemore talked about how, because he was white, it made it more accessible and safer. Because he rapped about same-sex marriage and thrift shops, that it made it more accessible to the voters. So I talked about this with the kids, and they start to understood it. And some of them would get curious, and we talk about it for hours. We talk about it till 4 o'clock in the morning. And so then here's my head fake with you. See? I got these kids interested in what they were listening to. They became passionate about it. There was no more accidentally becoming misogynistic or racist. And it was just a small little problem I had in my job, but it's an example of there's no such thing as a problem that you can't influence. I'm not saying fix, but you can't influence it. And I have a 5-step process that I've been using since I was a kid cleaning barns out in the farm I grew up on. Step 1, decide if you want to do it or not. Step 2, make a plan. Step 3, gather your resources. Step 4, do it. My dad would tell me I wanted to clean the barn, so I discovered I wanted to clean the barn. Now, what I've learned in this is that how you do it matters. You want to empower others to leave a legacy. So these kids left with curiosity and with interest and were able to talk about the music. And then the 5th step is clean up or assess what you did, which is where I answer the question, how does this matter? And in this case, I keep telling the story because I think the story matters. I think music and culture matter. So what I want you to take away from this is A, maybe a funny story or two about hip hop and rap. B, there's nothing you can't influence, even if it's just a little bit with a story like that. There's absolutely nothing, even if it's as trivial and silly as helping 15-year-old people enjoy rap. Hope you enjoyed the talk. Thank you.